Hi. Right, so I'm going to try some of this YouTube green screen stuff. Never done it before, but I've watched a few videos on YouTube and my budget is low, so excuse me if I sound like a tight-fisted shit, but I'm going to try and save a bit of money. Right, so what have I got? Well, first of all, I've got my green screen. Let me go through my house. And here it is here, and I've made a framework out of a plastic conduit that's meant for water pipes. This was extremely cheap. The whole lot come to 60 RMB, so that's about £7, £8, which I guess is about $20. The green screen itself cost me 75 Yuan. That's about almost £10, again about $19. I've screwed a couple of holes in the wall, made some. The plasterwork in China is actually quite always bad, so even with the right drill, it still makes a mess. So I bought some filler. I'll tidy those holes up and get the green screen hanging on those. The reason I'm going to hang it is because at the moment I feel this is a bit low for a small room, and I think it's going to be better if it's hanging. The pipework will hang on there. Right, the next thing I've done, because everyone says on YouTube, lighting is extremely important. Again, I don't have a shopping channel that I can use. I can't read and write Chinese, so I really don't know how to buy something online. Those of you who've got wives or girlfriends that can do it for you, good luck. But I don't. So, what have I done? I've bought some gadgets, bit of a DIY, and I'm going to make my own lighting. Let me show you. Not that, that's toothpaste. So I'm going to use these LED lights. They cost me 18 RMB. So let's say £2, maybe $3. Some double-sided sticky tape. 2 of those. 2 2-meter cables. 1 for each, and a plug socket, 1 for each. Sorry, a plug, 1 for each. Now LED lights on their own are going to be no use, I suspect, from what I've seen. So I've purchased this. These are lids of a wok, and the man in the shop was quite surprised when I said I don't want the handles to go on top. Gender ma? He said. Gender, I replied. So I'm going to use this side and put my LED light on the inside and use it as a spotlight. Now that itself may be too bright and it may hurt my eyes. This I don't know if it's going to work, so I bought a round chopping board, and I'm hoping that might diffuse the light a little and not blind me. We'll see. Put it all together. So let me give you the price of this. This was 11 Yuan. So that's roughly £1. Roughly £1. 1 English pound. These were 11, so there's another £1. And I already told you the lights was 18. So each light, if it works, will be round about £4, £4. I think that's about $7. $7 for each spotlight. I really don't know. Anyway, I'm told this is the right filler, so I'm going to mix some filler. Now, most people mix it in a bucket. I don't like to do that because it's round and I can never get all of it out, and it seems such a waste. So I'm going to use this plastic container. Okay, it's square so the old scraper can get the filler sorted. Right, I'm not one for. I don't enjoy cleaning up this powder stuff when it becomes dust over the floor. So I'm just going to mix it into a. Be very careful not to get it on the floor. much water do I need? I'm not really sure. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, that's okay. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of water. If it's too much, I'll put some more powder. If it's too little, I'll put some more water. I'm going to breathe this stuff in. It always worries me about this powder because we know that it won't catch fire, which means, is there asbestos in this powder? Some of you viewers will know the answer to that. You know, we do worry about asbestos sheeting, but is asbestos in plaster? I suspect it is. I believe it's in brickwork. Just a small amount to make sure it doesn't catch fire. And they have fire retaining walls that last 30 minutes. I'm rubbing it on now. Okay. Still need some more water. A bit lumpy at the moment. I'm not necessarily teaching you DIY, but maybe some of you are not sure. You can buy that silicone stuff in tubes, but it never dries the same, even when you spread it over the whole of the cracks that you want to fill. It never really dries properly, and it will always shine because it's silicone. Actually, this is quite a good mixture now, really quite good. I'm happy with that. Doesn't slide around, stays in one place, so there you go, it's like cement. Now, so do I go to the other room and take the camera? Why not? Why not? I'll show you what I'm doing. Right, I'm just going to film everything and then edit it later. So these are the holes I want to fill. One there, where it made a mess earlier. And I want to make the holes that I'll put the screws in, I want to make them a little tidier. Right, I'm going to turn the camera off now while I do this. Doesn't look like it's the best job going. I'm not professional, but I've left it a little proud. That means sticking out a little bit, and when it dries I'll sand that down. Same with these holes too. Now when I mixed it, I mixed too much, not a great deal, but there you go, that's what's left. So I went around the house, and every home has cracks and holes somewhere in some of the walls, and I didn't want to put it to waste, so I went around and did all those too. The little cracks, the hairline cracks in plaster, if you can still see, running down the walls here. So I just filled them in, and when it dries I'll sand it down and then give it a fresh coat of paint, and those cracks will have disappeared. Other little holes around the house I did the same too. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to transfer this filler and put it into a small container, and maybe for the next 12 hours it's still usable if I keep it moist. Now believe it or not, if you think, oh I can't do that, especially the some women, they think, oh it's a man's job, but if you make cakes, then trust me, you can do plaster work. You know, doing a small bit of plaster work like this is the same as putting the icing on a cake. So if you make cakes, you don't need a man to do the plaster work around the house. You can do it yourself. So, right, the next thing I'm going to do is move on and make my light. So the big dish has been cleaned, or the big plastic bowl has been cleaned, and so I can use that again for food. It's perfectly clean. And the plaster has been put into this. It will stay there for about another 10 hours and I can still use it. So I won't chuck that away. The bag itself, always a bugger if you don't look after it. It'll either go hard in the garage or the shed because of the moisture in the air. Anyway, so roll it up, chuck a clip on it or a peg, and keep it in a dry place. Dry. Right, that's in my kitchen, but it won't stay there. So, I said the next thing I'm going to do is the lights, but before I can even get in there and work on that, I'm going to put the screws back into the wall and I'm going to hang the green screen. Again, before I do that, I need to vacuum the floor. Not many Chinese have vacuum cleaners. They do like the old-fashioned, most Chinese use this, okay? Because the floors in China are 99% tiled. So, that's why they have a dustpan and brush and not a vacuum cleaner. My floor is tiled, but I have a vacuum cleaner because I also like to vacuum the mattress and the curtains and the doormats, as well as just shaking them and sweeping. I just find it gets into the corners much better, and by using a vacuum cleaner I can suck up those horrible little cockroaches. Right, so let's do some cleaning. There we go. First mishap of the day. Stay there. I said stay there. Good. That's usually much easier. Let's get Mr. Vacuum going. Get this place clean. The vacuum cleaner, not used much in China, but some people have them, but really not many. I like them. So before the plastic dries hard, I want to get the screws back into these wall plugs that are going to hang the green screen. When I leave this apartment, I can simply take these screws out and just fill the tiny little holes and everything will be hunky-dory. Happy landlord. I'm hoping they're strong enough to hang the green screen. Let's see. So now it's time to hang the green screen. At the moment it's held together by plastic tubing. Right, so there's my green screen hanging on the wall. A little crease there, I'll pull that out later. So that's that done. Now the next thing I need to do, I've never done this before, I'm certainly not professional. I've only recently just got a bloody VPN so I can get onto YouTube and see what's happening around the world. Out here in China, it's a big no-no. Although there are some people doing videos of China and other things, politics, the masks. Yeah, I guess they're pretty tech savvy, they know what they're doing. Anyway, so I'm learning a new skill, teaching myself, and like I said, I've just got a VPN pretty recently, and now I'm interested in that because I'm not working. There's no teaching going on. I've been teaching here for 14 years, but there's no teaching. And the teaching that is being done by foreigners is mostly in the Philippines, maybe the States, maybe the UK, I'm not too sure, but it's all done online. And again, I'm not tech savvy, so I'm having to teach myself. Right, so the green screen is hanging up. So the next thing to do is to sort out that lighting. Let's try. Here we go. So, in making the lighting for my green screen, again, I know you can see creases behind me. I'll work on that in a minute. Got some cable, got LED lighting, chopping board that cost about what was that, £1? About I don't know. It's probably about $2. A wok lid, which again cost about $2. The light itself is the most expensive. That cost 18 Yuan, as I said earlier. So that's £2. That's about $3.50, $4 at the most. And the cable, just pence. Anyway, the whole lot, probably, not even a fiver, but £5. So let's say $8 for one light. Anyway, so let's get cracking, get these sticky labels off. You really don't have to be an electrician to do this. That's pretty much central. There we go. So that's the light stuck inside. The next thing I need to do is just to trim the edges of these so I can get the light wired up together. It's got this little gadget here to poke the wires in, so I just need to splice these and poke it into that. Right, don't even need a screwdriver for this. I simply open it up, one end, push the two-prong plug, and the plugs, they are cheap, they work, but they don't close up properly, so I'm going to wrap a little bit of tape around that, again stop some moisture getting in, and just to make sure it's safe. Not necessary, just want to. So, there we have it. Now that's the beginning. So, let's plug it in and just double check there's nothing electric touching the metal. Let's go. And there we go. Wow. $7, $8 for a spotlight. That will, I hope, have the desired effect. I don't know. I really don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. The other gadget that I bought, is this piece of plastic, it's a chopping board. And that cost a massive $1.50. And I've heard of them say things like diffusers to, I really don't know what all this technical jargon means when it comes to doing correct lighting. So let's put the light on. There we go, it blinds me for starters. Now will that have the right effect or not? I don't know. But I can look at it and it's not blinding me. If I take that off, I can't see sod all. So there's my first wok and chopping board light. I've got 2 of them to make, and then I'm going to make some stands, and hopefully they'll work. Look at that. There you go. 2 lights. The plastic things that I bought, the chopping boards. I've used a piece of net curtain. It's a much softer light. So that's the light finished. Let's see if this works. Right, so with the spotlights, I've got the wok lid, a little bracket there, a 22mm pipe sliding down over the top of an 18mm pipe, and the light, I've stuck sticky tape around the back of the light to keep the net on. There we go, 2 of those. And that's attached to my blackboard stand. Whether that'll stay there or I'll find something else, I don't know. I've got my 2 spotlights. I hope that's enough. And the next thing to do is to test the quality of the green screen. And for that, I'm going to ask a friend to visit and show me how. A local Chinese guy who recently graduated, and he's a computer programmer. God, the guy is good. So he's going to download something for me so that I can practice the green screen use on the computer. And well, we'll see and take it from there. Thank you. Let's get back to work. Hi again. Right, this guy's name is Eric. Okay, I actually don't know his Chinese name. What's your Chinese name?
My Chinese name is hard to remember.
Hard to remember. Is that your Chinese name?
Are you recording?
Yeah. Yeah, it's recording. Come on, you're the computer technician, you can't see that's recording. Look, 19 seconds.
Pause. My family name is Chen, C-H-E-N Chen.
Okay, you heard what he said there, his family name is Chen, C-H-E-N, Chen.
Chen.
Okay, so
Eric Chen.
Okay, so Eric Chen here is going to teach me about the software in order that I can use the green screen. Because at the moment, I can put this onto my computer and I haven't got a clue what to do. But this guy's the expert.
I'm not the
Yes,
expert.
you're too modest, you're too modest. Okay, so I'm going to leave you at the moment and he's going to download something onto my computer and teach me the basics at the moment. Okay, is that true? You're going to teach me the basics? True. Okay, alright, chat to you soon.
Up,
Yeah,
and then
background there.
background here,
Enlarge it.
double click,
Yeah.
and then ultra key. Oh, double click this key. No, press effect.
Okay, right.
But probably if for me, this software is only to remove the green screen. And when I finish, yes, when I want to do other things, I will change Adobe Core Video Studio. When I finish the screen, you can find the file.
Yeah, okay.
Because it only supports file import.
Yeah.
So you can press this, the second layer, insert a photo.
Yeah.
And then choose the file saved. Are you okay?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Chat to you later. I'll get closer to the lens. Thank you very much. Chat to you later.